Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network. All right, guys, thank you so much. Thank you, Mr. Producer. We are back, and I am joined by an amazing guest. To my left is the one and only Miss Viktoriia Gruzdieva. Viktoriia, so nice to see you.
Good to be here. Hi, everyone.
Now, Viktoriia, now you are the owner of Mindful Bamboo. Can you tell us a little bit about Mindful Bamboo before we get started today and your great topic?
Sure. So Mindful Bamboo is basically the business I started that provides all kinds of information and services connected with wellness, mindfulness, and basically changing your mindset, changing your lifestyle, and ultimately finding your happiness in this world. And I do that through a variety of channels. I have a website where I'm sharing blog articles. I have a YouTube channel with videos, as well as a Facebook page with some useful information here and there. And of course, I do personal sessions, coaching sessions, tarot readings, a little bit more towards healing, more towards coaching, depending on what specifically people are looking for. All kinds of advice around healthy lifestyles, such as nutrition, exercise, etc., etc. So yeah, trying to grasp it from different sides, but yeah, it's a holistic worldview, I would say. And I'm just providing some practical tools of how you can make use of it and change your life.
I love it. Awesome. And one more time, how do people get involved on the social media and the website? Just one more time, if you don't mind.
Right. So the best way to get in touch is through an email address, info.mindful.bamboo@gmail.com. There's also a contact me form on the website, mindfulbamboo.com. And of course, you can call me at my number at 646-8844-209.
Awesome. And Viktoriia, you do one-on-ones as well, and you'll work with people virtually?
Yes, these days especially, this is very convenient and very safe for everyone. I would say it limits the communication to a certain degree, but I've also adapted to the environment, and I was able to benefit and do something extra if I'm virtual. It's a lot easier in terms of time planning. And of course, for people, it's also less effort because you don't actually have to commute somewhere to an office, think about what you need to do to get ready, et cetera, et cetera. So it's a lot easier for everybody, a lot less effort, less stress to actually get on board, join the virtual call or maybe just a phone call and get some information, get some advice, some support.
Gotcha. So that initial phone call is almost like a consultation to see if you guys are a fit together, to see if you guys are going to work well together. Is that kind of accurate?
Yes. So if you're interested in coaching, you're not quite sure what you're looking for, you have a question or an issue you'd like to work with, but you're not sure how exactly you want to approach it. So the best way, of course, is to have this intro call, 20-30 minute call. It's free of charge, and we'll just go over your situation, who you are, and I'll provide some of my thoughts and ideas of how we can best use my potential to help with your situation. We can take it from there.
Wow, that's great. That's very thoughtful that you would spend that time with people, but that you're serious about helping people and you got a passion for it, and I think that's awesome. So part of that is what you have this great topic today. You're going to share with us today 10 practices to bring more mindfulness to the listeners' lives, into all of our lives. It sounds awesome. So can you tell me a little bit, before I ask about the first one, tell me about, are these practical? Are they easy?
Yeah, so that was kind of the point of this headline and me preparing this list for you guys today, that the key aspects are that it's accessible. So you don't need, to have special knowledge or to kind of know some specific people or supply chain of, where you want to go to be able to get started. It's all supposed to be kind of self-maintained. And of course, it's a little bit more low budget or on a higher scale, depending on what you're willing to spend. But ultimately, all of these tools are helpful. And yeah, I picked 10 just as kind of a top 10 idea. But of course, you can start with whatever number you're comfortable with. You can use it as a checklist to see if you're okay in that area. Perfect. Maybe you don't need to change anything right now, but maybe that's the area you're interested to make changes in. That's definitely going to be food for thought. And, maybe you'll pick just 3 out of 10, but it's still going to be very good effort and it's going to be very productive.
It's a great idea, and I'm so glad because people are going to take a lot away from this. So it's great. So let me start and ask you, tell us about meditation practices, if you don't mind.
Yes, this is for me is number one, and I think it provides, well, maybe not the most value for everyone because it also depends on how used you are to this kind of activity, but it's definitely a game changer, especially if you haven't done any at all. And I usually tell people, I mean, there are a lot of resources these days of where you can, go online and search for some. There are also apps that you can install on your phone with music or with guided meditations. And it's actually a very good place to start with guided meditations, where there will be somebody who will be kind of taking you through all the steps, including your breathing, the state of your mind, what you're supposed to be seeing, feeling. They're literally guiding you through the steps, and it's helping you stay, in focus with the meditation and for your mind not to drift away. That's usually the biggest problem that people have. You're not supposed to really, you're supposed to turn off your brain, your monkey mind, and stop
Monkey mind.
the stream of consciousness, so to speak, right? So that it's not like your thoughts just circling around, that you're supposed to kind of turn it off. And people have a problem doing that, especially since this is new and different, and logically our brain just drifts off to something else.
Totally.
So,
Yeah,
I think guided meditations as an idea help a lot. And also at first, I must say, it could be, even your body could feel that it's something odd, something different. So you could feel maybe, a bit of a pain in certain areas that are weaker, or an itch somewhere, or you can find yourself in a less comfortable position, or your body just trying to tell you, like, I don't understand what's happening, what is this? But as everything with everything, it just takes a little bit of practice and a little bit of time, and it's much easier. But lately I've been hearing even more, so because we have so much going on in the world, and people have so much anxiety and stress that they need to cope with. And of course, you have more traditional ways of dealing with it, such as maybe some medication, maybe some, some people have therapists and they just go into therapy and they talk through those things. That's all wonderful and great. But this is, to me, this is the most kind of the easiest ecological way to deal with it. And so that's something that it's kind of like a personal conversation with yourself.
Okay.
I don't know, with yourself, with your higher power, if you wish, but it could be very freeing. And the more you do it, the more you'll find ways of how it's actually giving you extra inspiration, extra energy, and even extra ideas for what you want to do or what you appreciate in your life, right? That's another part of, and a lot of guided meditations will actually take you there, like into your heart space, and, having this feeling of gratitude towards, where you are, your life, who you are, etc., etc. So these are all important concepts. But when you connect that with feelings in your body and turning off the anxiety, it definitely does magic.
Great. Well, thank you for that. Now, I just have just a follow-up question there. I know it's not cookie cutter. I know everybody's different, but how long do you suggest people meditate for? And is there a time that's the best? Should they do it as soon as they wake up or before bed? Let me get your thoughts on that, if you don't mind.
Yes, it's a very good question. Thank you. So I would say start small. So it could be even 10 minutes a day, twice a day. If you're really committed, that's a great start. It's a great practice, but that's enough. You can go up to half an hour when you feel more confident, when your body gets used to it. And yes, the best timings are either right after you woke up or when you're going to bed. before going to sleep, because those are the times when you're either if you're doing it before going to bed, you kind of set yourself up for a better night, for kind of a more relaxed experience. In the morning, it sets you up for a successful day. That's why ideally you should do both, but those are definitely good times to start, because that's when your mind is kind of shifting between its states, between the relaxation and active mode. And in esoterics especially, people believe, and you can even sense it for yourself, there is like this medium state where you're falling asleep or where you're waking up, where you're kind of in between of these states. And it's considered that that's the most productive time for this kind of practices, where it's going to give you the most benefit.
Okay, well, thank you for that. And just lastly on that one, what happens if you referred to it and made me giggle of the monkey mind? What happens if people are trying it and they're getting all these thoughts? I got to do this, I got to do that. What do you suggest that we do? Does it go to breathing, or do we, if it's guided, do we not do that? I'm not sure. I just want your thoughts.
Yeah, so the easiest way and most popular ways to focus on your body and what's happening with your body, kind of bring your focus there, so that you are, and remember last time I also spoke about mindfulness, meaning that you're in the now, and that's part of it, right? How do you get in the now? That's really in the now versus your brain that always goes into the past or into the future. It never stays in the now, really.
Right, totally
That's the
true.
problem.
Yeah.
So yeah, and that's why in meditations, most of them, like 90% of all guided meditations, will start with the breathing exercise to get you into a stable, deep breathing, and with that focus, and also focus on your body, of how kind of the energy flows, and you can just kind of visualize how it's moving, along all parts of your body, all your limbs. You can feel how your body touches against like the furniture, at least the clothing. All of these sensations, they help you ground your attention in the moment, and that's when you set yourself up for actually going into the core part of the meditation.
Well explained. Thank you very much. Yeah, that was really effective. So let me ask you about, how about skincare, and how about hair care?
Yeah, so I picked this one as one of the top points because to me, this is also part of our skin. Our hair is part of the kind of bodysuit that we wear, that, how we experience this life. And people who are really passionate about this, they will say that, your skin basically tells a story of your health, of your life, like who you are, so many different details. And I think it's a great way to kind of set yourself up to a better place in terms of mindfulness, because this is definitely something that your body will be thankful for. So you will immediately get feedback in terms of your health. People will notice for sure, because it's also going to, it's going to have an aesthetic effect, and will definitely give you more, on the one hand, more self-esteem, on the other hand, more connection to your body, and to noticing certain things. Because when we talk about, and when I talk to some of my clients about conversation with your body, it's hard for people to understand, how do you do that? Like you talk to parts of your body, to your organs, how does that happen?
Right, which one? Yeah.
With skin and hair, it's easier, because those actually, areas that we are used to taking care of, and it seems natural, right? That this is part of this hygiene, the self-care, self-nurturing. We have so many different spa options, and that's why here I have, like, you can go from something simple like a self-massage, and there are all kinds of techniques there, all kinds of different things you can buy online really cheap for your face or for your body, all kinds of simple things that you can use to massage your body, to kind of bring more liveliness to it, to, I don't know, to tone your skin, etc., etc. And it can go up to, and of course with hair, the same, like some hair treatments depending on what you feel your hair needs. There's actually a service now, I think, that is creating an individual customized kind of shampoo for you, depending on what your hair is like and what you're trying to achieve. And you can end, of course, with different kinds of salon procedures and spa and what have you, acupuncture maybe, so you
Okay.
can go up to something where you don't have to make much effort yourself. You're basically investing in your health. Maybe for some people it's a good way to start, and you will also see how much it kind of changes your perspective on taking care of your body. And as long as you build this relationship and you start loving it, and you see your body loving it and speaking back to you and being more healthy, supportive, and beautiful,
Yeah.
the more you're going to want to do that, because that's
Right.
really how we build any relationship. Really, you need to have that exchange.
Yeah, I'm
And
with you. I'm with you.
yeah,
Self-esteem is
actually,
huge, right?
yeah. I work with a biomechanics coach, and she is of an idea that our body has a consciousness of its own. So depending on how much we actually invest in it and we take care of it, then it's going to be more helpful and efficient for us, or maybe less so.
Awesome. These are great topics, and I'm sure they're helping people. Here's a huge one. How about sleep care?
Yeah, so we actually kind of talked about it last time in terms
Yeah.
of general concept. Why is it important? So I'm not going to go too much into that, but here I just wanted to stop more about specifics. So actually, one important tip I already gave away last time, which is about the air humidity and humidifier. So I believe this is definitely a big game changer for the sleep routine, for the way you're breathing through the night and you're actually getting rest and your body kind of stays hydrated. Another big one is, or maybe not just another, but we also spoke about setting the bedroom, the temperature, the sounds, of course, your bed itself. That's an important one. So again, you can think about what is currently happening with your sleep routine. Are you worried that you don't get enough sleep, or you're not rested enough in the morning? You can start there. Or maybe you feel like it's hard for you to breathe through the night, you're waking up, something's bothering you. So try to analyze first, and then you can decide how you want to deal with it. In terms of the bedding, the mattresses, the pillows, there are also so many options today. But just in general, I noticed that people usually use much softer mattresses that they're supposed to, that's what's healthy for them. So I would recommend, either look up some information online or in any of the stores where they sell them. There are professionals that can help you identify what's the best one for you, depending on which position you sleep in, what's your body weight, and you can definitely check it out. So that's probably the most important advice. Whatever you are thinking about, try it out. Lay down in the store like for 15 minutes, not like for 1 minute. Okay, that sounds good. But really notice how your body is feeling with it. So a lot of times people choose the soft options, and actually it's not very good for your body in terms of the bone tissue and muscles, and if you have any misalignments, which actually all of us have
Right.
in some
Right.
places, for others it can just make them worse, really.
No
So
support,
again,
right? If it's too soft, you got no
yeah,
support anyway, right?
it basically is going to be supporting your misalignments.
Yeah, you're just gonna. I got you. Wow, that's real important. And what's the ideal thing to wear? There are some people that say you should go totally natural, and other people say you should wear a robe. Is there anything to that?
Well, I mean, it depends really on the setting that you prefer, but I would say the general no-nos that don't make it too tight. It's supposed to be kind of loose and comfortable, so that you're not, especially if you kind of move around in the bed throughout the night, that it doesn't become a problem. Because then, and some people even start having dreams where something is happening to them, they're
Oh,
captured
because
somewhere.
it's tight or
Yeah,
something.
because
Oh, okay, okay.
the clothes are uncomfortable. So whatever it is, and whether it's whatever the material is, of course, try to make it natural, cotton, silk, something that's not synthetics. Of course, it depends also on your skin, whether you're sensitive or not, but generally, of course, the best materials are the natural ones. The same is for bedding. So both for what you wear and for the bedding, go with as much of a, natural organic fabrics as you can. But, everybody has their own preferences. So if you're not sure, you can try out different things. I'm very conservative, so I'm sticking usually to something, and it works. I don't want to change it.
Okay.
But I started practicing and experimenting myself a few years in, especially when I was buying my next kind of bed and pillow, and I realized how many options there are out there. It's like a huge market. You need to do your own research. And I decided that I want to try out, I don't know, silk pillowcase, for example, because I read that it's good for your hair and your skin, and it has some benefits. And do some comparison and check out for yourself what works best. But yeah, it's definitely an important investment, because I also have experience when I picked, for example, bedding or pajamas where I didn't think too much about it. And that was definitely a very diminishing experience that I don't want to have like every night, always. So yeah, definitely makes sense to invest some time into it and introduce some improvements.
Okay, great. Thank you for that. Okay. Um, what do you mean when you say anything can happen evening?
Right. Yeah. So this is more about time management and planning your life. It actually goes both ways. So when I was putting this down, I started thinking about all of us who are really busy, and we like every minute of our days is planned, sometimes even for weekends. And I hear it more and more that even during the weekend, rarely people have just some downtime when they can relax, but they don't have a plan. They can go for a walk or just, I don't know, watch some TV, or even, have a slow breakfast with the family. There are always some plans and something that needs to be achieved. And I'm like that myself. So when I started it, I was thinking definitely about, the idea where, and I've started practicing it myself relatively recently, but I already can see the benefits of it, because I was always getting this bit of that anxious state of mind where I was trying to get everything done. I was trying to get as much done as I can, and not just work-wise, just in general. There's so much going on and of course, if something doesn't happen according to the plan, I get upset, I get stressed, and I almost feel like I've let myself down in some way. So that's not good. And as much as there's still a lot going on, I'm trying to set aside some time. And for now, my goal is one evening a week. So yeah, that's actually another important part for any of these practices, that start with whatever is acceptable to you. So you don't have to start with, I don't know, like for meditation, an hour a day. That could be too much. And the same here. You can start with one evening a week, or one evening every other week, if that's just as much as you can start with. But stick to that schedule.
Stay to
Even
it. Yeah.
Put it in your calendar, set yourself a reminder, like, if you have like actual daily calendar, you can write it down. So you remember, okay, today, or you're looking for a week, like, yeah, on Thursday I have anything can happen evening. No plans are supposed to be made. So it's supposed to be an evening to yourself where you can improvise, and depending on how you're feeling, what you want to do, you can do something for yourself. And it's important that you spend the time with something that you want to do, not what other people talk you into. But this is you time. It doesn't mean that you have to be alone, but it really needs to be something that is you're doing for your own joy, for your own happiness and self-care. It could be anything like that. But yeah, I feel that this is something that we need, otherwise it can start feeling suffocating. And that's another reason why people then go to therapists and to coaches, and they try to get their life on track, because they feel like it's like a hamster wheel, and you don't really have that downtime anymore.
Right. I gotcha. Great explanation. Okay. So how about when we get into body awareness / fitness?
Yeah, so I didn't want to make it too much about sports and athletics, because I know that, again, everybody's different. And I myself am, I've had my number of health conditions and issues, which is why for many, many years, if people would tell me that, I'm supposed to exercise more and, do sports, I would be, well, but, I have this list of things that, I'm worried about, and I don't want to put myself into too much of a risk, including like actual, bone tissue and muscles and issues like that, where you can actually, like, some movement can actually hurt you. So I would say be very careful with what you choose. It's really great if you're starting with some physical activity that where you can do it with someone else, like a friend or a member of family. If somebody's already excited, they're already out there, and you can join them. That usually helps a lot to adopt something new. And it doesn't have to be very prescriptive or scientific. I mean, you can go that way. You can actually have a personal coach, personal physical trainer who will set up a program for you. But, again, it needs to start with something that will be exciting for you, challenging, but exciting. So that if for some people it's, playing tennis, or it's taking long walks or something like that. But yeah, it's like a step forward, really. And with everything else, it just needs to be consistent. And then you'll see, when you start taking those steps, then along the way, you will, your body again will kind of be talking to you back. And
how come we're not doing that? Right.
Yeah. Maybe now we're going to try dancing, or I don't know, some more extreme kind of sports, or maybe join a team somewhere, or even do, maybe the other way around, do more of Pilates, where it's a little bit more or yoga, where it's a little bit more mindful, where you don't want to do as much of physical stuff. You don't want it to be as intense, but you still worry about your kind of body-mind situation, and you want it to be healthy. You want it to be toned. And that's actually one of the most important reasons why I'm very diligent with my exercises and everything that I do physically. And right now I do quite a lot, because I know that, especially for people who are a bit less strong and less healthy, it's very important to stick to that routine and keep doing it continuously. That's when it gets easier, and it also helps you as we age, as our body deteriorates in very different ways, especially if we don't use it correctly.
Right.
Then it becomes so much more important to stick to these healthier options, where we make it easier to our body. Let's put it that way. It doesn't suffer as much to support us in everything that we do. Understood. And so it just provides a more easier kind of basically easier life for you in all of its sorts. And I would say even prevents early aging.
Yeah, no doubt. Guys, I'm sorry we ran out of time. We're way over here, but what great tips from Viktoriia Gruzdieva. Did I say it right? I screwed it up that time. It's Gruzdieva.
Gruzdieva, yeah.
Good enough. But Viktoriia, just tell us how to get a hold of you. And I'm sorry I didn't get to everybody who wrote in, but can't wait to hear what you have to say next. Maybe we can do on the next show. We'll do the other tips that you had. But where do people get a hold of you, real quick?
Right. So you can get in touch with me via email address at info.mindful.bamboo@gmail.com. You can also give me a call at 646-8844-209, or you can contact me via my Facebook page or the contact form on my website, mindfulbamboo.com.
All right, guys. Thank you, Viktoriia, and we'll be right back.
Are you looking for even more of the podcasts and hosts that you love? The Podcast Business News Network is proud to announce that you can now listen live on the MyTuner Radio and online Radio Box apps for iOS, Android, and the Amazon App Store. Or check us out online. Search for Business News Network on mytuner-radio.com, or search Podcast Business News Network on onlineradiobox.com/US so you don't miss a minute of the action.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers.
Day-to-day simple tasks can become pretty daunting.
I have to carry my chair up 2 flights of steps or have somebody do it for me.
What scares me the most is just the falling.
When I'm struggling with my house, I think, to have that one great barrier just knocked down, it's crucial.
Home for Our Troops is a wonderful nonprofit that builds a
mortgage-free, fully adaptive, handicap-accessible house. And there's no catch.
It'll be our very first home that we've ever owned.
This is a game changer.
This is where your life begins again.
We need you to join us in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Because of you, everything's going to be okay.